So meanwhile, waiting for that stuff to dry, let's work on other portions of the piece. A lot of times when I'm doing these demo pieces, they're too small to be able to work on other portions while something's drying. But in general, when I'm working on a large painting, that's what I'm always doing. I actually don't have to have much downtime waiting for drying very often at all, because when the painting's large enough, there's always some other portion of it that I can shift my attention to while waiting for something. So in this case, this is big enough for me to do that. It's not that tiny. It's small, but it's not teensy tiny like sometimes what I do. And I am adding some more color to the negative space around these wingtips. That helps to have them really gives them some contrast and helps them jump out at you more. But you'll notice I'm not just painting with a glaze in these areas. I'm doing the same kind of soft dry brush shading that I did on the head, and this lets the color come in towards those light places in a way that makes those light areas seem to glow, because you're seeing the lighter glazes closer in towards the white. And I'm just shading all this in with an orange color. Here, pull this closer so you can see. That's the color I'm using here. I think it's quinacridone burnt sienna, I believe. I really like the intensity of this bright orange. I bought it when I was doing monarch butterfly painting because I kept mixing quinacridone gold and red, various reds, to try to achieve that really bright orange of monarch butterfly wings. And I was painting over 100 of them in this painting. It was this huge swarm of butterflies, and every single one I had to keep mixing the color because I kept using it up. I don't mix large batches at once. I just mix small batches and use. And so I finally got tired of doing all that mixing and decided to go look to find a suitable out of the tube color, and lo and behold, I found quinacridone burnt sienna. No longer had to mix my monarch butterfly wing colors. At least not the base orange. Still needed to mix a lot of things. There's always mixing. That's the fun part. I don't mind mixing. It's mixing the same color over and over again for a base tone that I do not enjoy. So all these places that are not connected in the painting, these areas, by which I mean, well, my painting is going to be framed down to that line. So anything above that is just stuff that's, I'm painting past the edges so that you don't see the edge once it's matted and framed. But there are places that are not joined up, like this corner over here with this and this and this. So when you're shading areas like this, you have to make sure that your color tones match up across areas. So right now, you see this is a little bit too dark for everything else. So I could either lift it and lighten that, or else add a little bit of darkened bits to my other areas so that they sync up. And I'm going to take my orange tones, although I'm going to make it more yellowish, and I'm going to bring it down to here even. The reason being is, hold on, let me finish painting this before I talk about it. The reason being I want this orange color to have this scoop shape. Even though the bird is in the way for most of it, it still shows up over here in the background area. And my neighbor's dog is being really loud right now. I'm going to close that door so that you don't have to listen to the dog barking the whole time. I don't know if you could hear it on this video. I can hear it. Now this bottom corner, I want more green, a little bit more green in this. So I'm just doing a glaze over the bottom portions, bottom corners. Coming in close around that lantern, but making sure to keep that still lightest. Maybe a little bit of blue as well. It's kind of a peacock green, bluish tone that I've got now. And pulling it a little bit up the sides even. Letting that color close in, so the overall effect is this bright scoop in the composition, right? This is where the bright area is, and it's not even symmetrical. It's not like a U-shaped, it's an angle off like that. And that's the orangey tones and the bird itself, the details of the bird, and the outside area is this peacock blue toned part. A little bit of purple even. Things are dry enough now, all this, so I can now take my gel pen and do a little bit of feathery work in the watercolor grounded areas. Just a little bit for the feather textures there. And now I am going to work in this bottom background area. Mostly so far what I've done is I had texturing, the gold leaf and the watercolor ground, and then the layers of color, the washes, but I haven't really done anything intentional down there. Well, at least not specifically intentional. A lot of it was just, picking the colors and the textures and letting things do what they do best. But now I'm going to go in there and shape that randomness a little bit to best complement the composition. So I want not just to have these black blotchy areas and color areas, but I want to meld them. I want to meld things and make my painted aspects look like the randomness of the texture, but it is actually very intentionally done and crafted. And that's the hard part, making this look like it happened by chance. Down to the final little detail bits here. All that's left is this little lantern. And starting with some lemon yellow as a base. Blending that into the middle, which miraculously has somehow maintained white paper throughout all of this. And mixing in green gold, quin gold, and some more of that lemon yellow. More concentrated form to do the little details of this lantern. Bit of shading along the bottom with some bluish green. As well as along the top edge here. And shaping the cap of the lantern as well, using this same bluish green for all of those bits of shading. the string to attach to. And let's see, tiniest bit of Quin pink, just for a little bit of darker shading along the tip here. I just realized that my lantern is kind of acorn shaped. I like that. And the final little bit is the string that the bird is using to hold this lantern, and I'm using Winsor red for that. Careful not to have the line too defined, because I have this blurred shadow of the head, so I don't want it to feel like the string is jumping out at you. It has to be a little bit more diffuse and blurred. There. And that is it. I am going to sign this picture in the top corner because there's not really much room in the dark colors at the bottom. And I don't want to distract from the compositional elements there. So yes, I do actually take thought to where I put my signature, because I don't want the signature to interrupt the flow of things. There we go. All done. This piece is going to be called Stealing Embers.